Okay, now we're going to take a look at how you go out to perform, whether you're going to do it alone, with somebody else, or with a whole band. The first option we have is going alone. We call this a solo performance. The best thing about performing solo that I like is the control that you have over everything. Whether it's where you're playing, what you're playing, how you're playing it, everything is under your control. It's got the same benefits as being in business for yourself, right? So all of a sudden you're in business for yourself, and you get to decide where and when you spend your time, what customers you call, what products you do, the whole thing. Of course, there's downsides to that also, and we're gonna go over the pros and the cons here. So again, the first thing that I really like about going solo is the control. Until you've tried performing with somebody else or a band, you really don't know the benefits that are there. So I would say, don't limit yourself. Try some different things. But if you like to get out there and you're confident you can take the stage and carry the whole show by yourself, then I would definitely say you should do that. Um, the second thing I like about going solo is the pay. If you are playing in a band, you're typically going to get $75 to $100 a head for the whole gig. If you're going duo, you probably get 200, maybe $300 for the gig. If you're going solo, you're probably going to bring in between $150 and $300 for the gig, and of course, there's nobody to split it with, so you get more money for the amount of time you put in. So again, it's pretty strong reason to go out and go solo. Also, when you're thinking about venues, if a venue is looking at bringing in a band, they're looking at paying three, four, $500 for the night, as opposed to hiring a solo performers for $200 or $300. So it costs less, but to the venue, it depends on the venue. If it's a big venue and they bring in a lot of people, they're going to go with a band every time. But there are a lot more smaller venues that do music than there are large venues, and those are the ones you want to look for solo gigs. Your coffee houses, your bars and restaurants, so on and so forth. We've gone over different types of gigs we can get in another module. So that's the upside. So we've got control and better pay. Okay. The downside is that you really don't have anybody supporting you, right? So the entire gig really is on your shoulders. So there's a lot of pressure with that. The other thing is when you pack in your gear, right? If you're going solo, there's nobody to help you. So even though a duo gig doesn't need any more gear than a solo gig, but there's another hand to drag the stuff into the venue and in and out. So if moving gear isn't your thing, maybe you want to try a duo. One of the things that you can do as a solo artist, especially starting out, is to master the use of what I call the toys. So I use a vocal harmonizer, the TC Helicon Harmony Singer. Simple little pedal. You step on it, it's on. Step on it, it's off. It actually comes with some reverb. So if your system doesn't have any reverb on it, you can actually dial in the reverb. And then when you click on the button, it puts in a harmony. So you can dial in which kind of harmony you want, whether it's third up, third down. You can add two voices, and you can even dial in exactly how much of the other voices you want. So when I'm doing the Eagles' Seven Bridges Road, in that recording that everybody knows, they're all of the voices are very high. Okay, it's not like one, but somebody singing the main part, and then you've got two or three guys kind of off in the distance with a little harmony. Every voice is pronounced. So on that particular song, I turn it up a little more, right? So, but on most songs, I just click on the harmony one third up, keep it a little lower so people it's not really pronounced, and just pop it in on the chorus or yeah, wherever the hook is, that type of thing. Um, the drum pedal I use is incredible. It is also just a pedal, just step on it, it's on, step on it, it's off. It actually, you step on it while in the middle of a song, and it puts a fill in just perfectly. And it is called the Beat Buddy. Beat Buddy, and I highly recommend that. Also, something I don't use, but other people use quite effectively, is a looper. If you are proficient on guitar and you like to play lead, I would suggest getting a looper all day long because you can, if you haven't tried it, what they do is you record a particular guitar part without vocals, and then you step on it and it plays it seamlessly. And so now you've got a second guitar playing in the background, so now you can do lead over top of that. Also, you can build some very interesting rhythm tracks, some percussion. So you can bang on the guitar and then step on it, and then you could mute the strings, go chicka 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 chicka, and now you've got bum bum chicka chicka bum chicka bum chicka bum, and then you can play your song and just let that play in the background. That's an alternative to doing something like the Beat Buddy. But everybody loves a groove, and it definitely helps when you're solo to have some songs have a beat behind you. We're going to get into the nuances of performing, and the fact that people don't actually come out just to hear you play music. They come out to see a show. And so the visual component of your show is very important. But we're going to get into that more in a dedicated video a little bit later. One thing to remember, if you are using the toys, don't overuse them, and make sure that you are proficient enough with them so that you don't spend a lot of time setting them up and letting it distract you from the performance. I watched a guy, I think it was up in Charlotte, and man, what an incredible performance it was. He had electric guitar, and he had all of these pedals and loopers. And the guy would build this insanely large sound. It literally sounded like a full heavy rock band. And he's shredding on the guitar, and he's got the beat going. And I don't think he looked at the audience one time. He was staring at his feet, staring at his pedals, and making that all happen. And while it was cool, it got old after about 2 songs, real old. And I know I was looking around. I'm like, I wonder if people are liking this, any more than I am, because and there were people they started talking, they started drinking the beers, started leaving. He basically lost the show because he didn't pay enough attention to the audience. So you gotta watch for that. Let's look at duo. Switch our slide here. So the pros to doing a duo gig is that you and your duo partner, it's pretty easy to communicate with each other and come up with a set list. because there's only two people, you probably don't have to put an awful lot of time into practicing. Although, getting together with your friend and playing music and calling it practice is always a good way to burn off some time. Um, Upside to Duo, you can choose different aspects. So maybe you'll do the sales, so you'll call the events, and your partner will do the marketing. Okay, they'll concentrate on getting people out to the show, things like that. You you have somebody to schlep the gear in with you, right? So that's, yeah. The older I get, the more important that is. Heavy equipment sucks. You're going to have two options with the Duo. Basically, two options. One is you choose your partner, you declare your major, you are a duo, and then you can do everything. You can find gigs, they can find gigs. You can do marketing, they can do marketing. You split the pay, you split the tips, everything right down the middle. That's the classic duo model. Another model that I like is I do all the marketing and get the gigs myself. So it's basically my gig. And then I invite one of my musician friends to join me. You get the upside of having somebody there to do vocal harmonies. I can play rhythm, they can play lead. You don't want to see me play lead, trust me. I will never play lead. Can't do it. There's great opportunity in any setup when you have a duo for great chemistry between the two of you, and audiences love that. When two guys are really gelling well together, whether it be musically or harmony and or personality, it's a really nice intangible that audiences can attach themselves to. I had one fella come up, a guy named Bob. He was a great performer on his own, and he had some nice harmonies, but he and I would play exactly the same chords right on top of each other, both playing acoustic. And so instead of being a really cool addition for a different sound, it was duplicity, right? We're just copying each other. That really didn't help the performance all that much, but the harmony was still great. But I was going to make another point. If you get the gigs and you bring most of the gear, like Bob comes in, he brings his guitar. I bring the PA, I'm there, I set it all up, it's all good. So what I do is I offer my performing partner for that night, say, you get the tips, right? So you're going to get 100% of the tips, I'm going to keep 100% of the pay, and you don't need to tell them what the pay was. This is your gig. So sometimes I'll get a gig for $200, and then I'll ask somebody to come in and play with me, and then we'll make $100 in tips, and that person gets the $100, I get my 200. So instead of splitting everything down the middle, all the responsibilities, all the marketing, all the sales, bringing the gear and all that stuff, I'll go out and do all that myself, and then invite somebody to basically sit in with me for the tips. And also I usually I'll get a tab. So if you can work it, if you get hired as a solo performer, you might be able to ask the venue to double your tab. Typically you get a $25 tab from the venue for food and booze. So if you have somebody come in, they might be splitting that with you. That's fine. But don't it wouldn't hurt to ask, hey, I've got this other guy coming in playing with me. I'm not going to charge you anymore, but could I have another $25 tab? Perfectly reasonable, and they usually do it. Let's take a look here. So another benefit of the Duo is the pressure, the mental angst, I call it. It really is, with the right person, a very nice relief in the course of every song you play. There are just parts that it's just going to sound fuller and better with two people. Okay, it's just the way it is. So get some lead riffs, got some harmonies going on, and there's just more for the audience to like. So on the downside of the Duo, you've created another opportunity for conflict because you've introduced another person. So they may not like the song list. They may there's all kinds of things that go on. I'll just say, choose your duo partner wisely. Make sure that your personalities mesh. Make sure you're on the same page with your song selections, that type of thing. I like to have one person as like the musical director. So they're in charge of the arrangements we're going to do. They're calling the shots on which songs and how they're played and all that. So that's a way to reduce the possibility of conflict. Just work it out ahead of time. It's not a real big thing, but it has happened. So on the finance side, to recap that, we usually pull 50 to 75% of what we would get as a solo performer in these gigs. So just be ready to take a pay cut, unless you choose option B, where you go out and get the gigs and then add your person in there. You'll take a little haircut on the tip side of things, but I think that the benefits of having another person performing with you far outweigh the downside of losing a little tip money. So let's take a look here next at choosing a band. Okay, that brings us to our third and final option, the band. I like to approach band gigs the same way that I do with a duo gig. I either have a nucleus of a band and we share in all the responsibilities equal, we share in the pay, off we go. We are a single unit, we are a band. What I typically do is take on the sales and marketing for the gigs. I get the gigs, and then I invite individuals to come and join the band. For instance, I can get a corporate gig for, say, $800, and I can invite 3 people to come and play, and I'll pay them each $100. And so I get $500, they get $100, and that's just how it is, because I got the gig and I did the work. I also will bring the PA. I will have total communication with the client. These guys are guns for hire instead of being part of a band that shares equally. 2 different ways of doing it, just like the duo. You can do everything together and split everything equally, or you can take the lead yourself, add people as you need them, and off you go. It's probably better if you're going to have a band to split everything equally to begin with, And then as you get more experience, you can try plan B and see if that works for you. So the pros of a band versus a solo or duo, probably the number one thing for me is the real band sound is just very, very cool. You know, you got a real drummer going at it. He's locked down with the bass player. Here comes his screaming lead part, and guess what? You've got a guy to do it. Fantastic. The audiences love a full band sound, and so there's really no way to get it without having a band. So that to me is the number one reason I choose to do a band. It's that magic that you can make when you've got all the pieces. You can come, it all comes together, and they're magic moments. Let's put it that way. A band can deliver an experience that a solo or duo can't. Sometimes there's just no getting around it. This particular gig needs a band. Okay. So if you're going to put a band together, what are the components? So you've got your drummer or percussionist. You've got your bass player. Got rhythm guitar, lead guitar, keyboard. That's the core. You don't have to have a keyboard every time, but that's the core components of a band. If you want to add something cool, try harmonica, saxophone, violin, flute. All excellent additions to any band. A friend of mine comes out to my open mic, Big Al, and he brings a suitcase full of harmonicas with him. Sits in with everybody. He has a special microphone he uses, and anytime I can do a gig, a band gig, that I can work in a little extra money for Al, I bring him every time. He's phenomenal, really, really fun, and I look at band gigs more like just pure fun rather than the monetary side of things. And again, if this is a side gig for you, it may be a retirement gig, why not have as much fun as you can, right? So give a band a try. If you haven't tried it, definitely get out there and throw some guys together. You've got the greatest amount of flexibility as to what kinds of songs you play. If you're going solo, and it's a big crowd and they want to dance, it's better if you have the beat buddy. But if you don't have that and you're trying to pull off a song that's really a big band song, it's kind of tough. So the band's configuration gives you the total flexibility to play, mellow, rockin', dance, funk, whatever it is you want to play. The difference between a good band and a bad one is usually practice. You gotta get the guys together, go over the songs, learn them, start together, end together, last note, boom. Band that ends together stays together. Let's put it that way. It's true. One of the things that pet peeves of my wife that she has passed along to me is that she can't stand noodling. And noodling is when a musician plays their instrument in between songs. So I always bring the band together and I say, guys, we're going to have a blast. Remember, no noodling. No noodling. Okay, we end a song, we're silent. We start the next song. No noodling. Thank you. Your larger venues that accommodate bands, that have bands regularly, they're the ones that are usually able to pay enough to where the band members can get a decent pay for the night. $100 a head is usually what venues do, but as you start getting into the larger places, they can go up to maybe $200 a head. If you really want to dedicate yourself to a band and you want to make more money, you might want to look at doing a tribute band. It always baffled me, but come out with a variety band and you play lots of different songs from lots of different bands, and it's, to me, it's more interesting. But the reality is, when you're doing a tribute band, if you're doing a Lynyrd Skynyrd tribute band, the venue can advertise that they've got a Lynyrd Skynyrd tribute band, and that will draw Lynyrd Skynyrd fans. And that works. It's been in full swing now for 15, 20 years, and it is a sure way to pack out small to medium size venue for sure. So if you want to really dedicate yourself to something that's going to pull in some decent cash, look at the tribute band. I actually front a tribute band called Free Fallin', and we do Tom Petty. So I've done it. It's fun, and it is fun. Make sure that you are on the same page with all your band members for the songs you're playing, the pay you're getting, the responsibilities of each band member, and work all of that out in advance. Last thing you want to do is have disagreements while you're doing a gig. Very bad. Audience doesn't like that. Again, money to expect with a band. $50 to $100 is typical as you grow with your types of gigs you can do, get into more of the corporate gigs, things like that, weddings. You can, a band can, I've seen bands get $5,000 to play a wedding. They're full-time musicians. This is what they do. They play cover songs, but they're getting $1,000 a head. So that's that. Again, if that's something that you want to aspire to, fantastic. I stay away from weddings myself. I'll play a solo wedding rehearsal. They typically are on a Friday night. That's very mellow. You've got both the wedding party is there, both sides. The bride and groom, they've invited their family and people that are spending the night, and then the people that are in the wedding. And it's, there may be a little dancing, solo gig, no problem. If that goes sideways for some reason, the PA dies, you break your guitar, you get laryngitis, it's not the end of the world. If you are playing for a wedding reception and something goes south, you've just ruined the happiest day of a woman's life. And I don't need that kind of stress in my life. So just think of that when you're thinking about whether or not you want to do a wedding reception. So, which is it? Is it duo? Is it solo? Is it band? Try it. Experiment. This is a beautiful thing because you're going to be doing lots of gigs and you don't have to get locked into anything. I play all three all the time. Okay, so we've looked at solo, duo, band options. Got a pretty good handle on that now. I'm going to share with you a video that I created to promote a band that I have, and it's called Band on a Boat. And Band on a Boat is a band that I put together where we go out on a large pontoon boat. We have a little quiet generator. We play classic rock, and we float around Lake Lanier, and we get hired by people doing dock parties and lake parties and that sort of thing. So that's coming up next. I hope you enjoy it. Right after that, we're going to go on to our next topic. We're going to take a close look at the types of gigs that you can get. Until then.
Band on a Boat. Imagine the look on your guests' faces when they see that your band is on a floating stage. Band on a Boat is a great way to make your next party memorable. Band on a Boat is perfect for dock parties, houseboat parties, and boat raft-ups. Available dates are limited. Contact us today.
Yeah, where did we go? Days when the rains came down in a hollow, playing a new game, laughing and a running, hey, hey, a skipping and a jumping in the misty morning fog when all my heart's thumping in you. My brown eyes